I'm going to tell you the real reason creators are raving about Kajabi, and it's not always honesty. As a creator myself, I believed all those videos about how wonderful Kajabi is, and I signed up. And now I'm stuck with it, and I really, really regret going with Kajabi. This is the truth. Most of the reviews that you see on Kajabi are made by Kajabi affiliates. That means they get paid if you sign up. So of course they're going to say it's amazing and gloss over its flaws because that's in their interest. And actually there was one review that was so great about Kajabi, and I commented under this review saying, I've actually had a really bad experience. And the reviewer commented under my comment that she doesn't use Kajabi either, but she was still promoting it in her glowing review. What utter bullshit. And on top of this, so many of these Kajabi affiliates who post these amazing reviews are trying to sell you Kajabi consulting services, which just goes to show how complicated this product is, that you need a consultant to help you work out how to use it. So I just want to be crystal clear. I am not a Kajabi affiliate, and I am not affiliated with any of Kajabi's competitors. This is my honest review after signing up to Kajabi as a creator, and I really, really regret it. It is not worth the money. I run a coaching program called the AI Edit on Kajabi, and I've been using Kajabi every day for the last month, and I feel like I'm stuck with it, and I regret it. It is absolutely not all it's cracked up to be, and it is not worth the exorbitant price tag that has just gone up. One of the things you need to understand when you sign up for Kajabi or any other tool like it is that once you're in, it's extremely hard to switch because you've got paid members that are so hard to attract. And the only way to get them to move to a new product is to ask your members to cancel their account with your Kajabi product and start a new account with your new tool. That is a huge amount of friction, and you risk losing many of your members. So it's just not worth it. Once you're in, you're kind of stuck with it, which is really frustrating. I launched my online offering, the AI Edit, on Kajabi at the beginning of September. The AI Edit is a place for people to become confident, purposeful AI users in less than 3 hours a month. I have a number of downloads. I have a website, I have a coaching package that you can book through the site, and I have a membership program where members get access to live events every week to become up to date on everything to do with AI. Kajabi has a bunch of tools that enable me to deliver this product. They're not very easy to use, and some features just don't work. For example, when I set up a form and I want to be emailed every time somebody completes the form, it's just not possible to get that functionality to work. I tick the button saying, email me every time someone completes the form, and then when I click save, the button gets unticked and I'm done. It doesn't work. Another example, there's a tool that enables you to set the color palette for your Kajabi account. And I was really happy to see that because I was like, I can enter all my hex codes and everything I create from now will be in my color palette. Such a great tool in theory. In practice, it doesn't work, and I regularly find myself resetting the colors on a new page or a new landing page or a new checkout page. So it's just one of those things that feels like a premium offering in theory, but in practice it just doesn't work, and it's very frustrating. I was really excited that there was an events functionality on Kajabi because my whole offering hinges around live online events. But the events functionality I was expecting would be a way to host events, to send meeting invites to people's calendars, and to make it easy for people to sign up for events, book events, have them in their calendars, show up. But all the events tool does is it allows you to email people in the run-up to an event and after an event. And that's useful, but then I had to pay extra for a tool that enabled me to add these events to people's calendars. Because of course, if someone signs up to your event and they just get an email confirmation, they've then got to manually add that to their calendar. Most people won't do that, and then they won't show up to your event even though they were interested. So I was quite disappointed by that tool. The website builder was fine, and I'm happy with how my website looks. But the core feature of the AI Edit is this membership. So people pay £20 a month and they get access to all of my live sessions, and they get to ask me questions, and I kind of curate content so that they can become confident, purposeful AI users. And I ended up setting this up on Kajabi using the course functionality, which is repurposing something which is never quite ideal. And I wish I'd done more research, because I think Stan has a good membership functionality that would have been perfect for this. I didn't want a community because running a community is very complex, and I don't think that people want to log in to the AI Edit and chat with each other. And I didn't want a community that was dead, and I didn't think my members wanted that. My members want access to this highly curated content. They don't want to make friends with other members in some fake online community. So I used the course functionality and I was able to repurpose it, and it does work, but I'm not blown away by it. There's lots of workarounds, and it doesn't look perfect. It's fine. It's okay. I'm just going to have to live with it. And I think one of the things that really attracted me to Kajabi was the coaching product, because you can set up all your coaching sessions, you can host your coaching sessions on Kajabi, your coaching clients can pay for that, which is great because I coach 4 or 5 people at any given time on building their AI skills. But what I've found is people don't want to be coached through Kajabi. People don't want another tool that they've got to learn, that they've got to sign up to, that they've got to log into. People just want to use Zoom, Google Meets, or Teams calls for this stuff. They're just not interested. So the whole coaching thing, I think it's quite nice in theory to be able to save all your coaching notes and stuff. But the point is, people just want the coaching session and they need it to fit seamlessly and easily into their lives. And the payment feature, I've actually found that some of my coaching clients just want me to send them an invoice. They don't want to pay it through Kajabi. So it's not really adding the value that I was expecting. So yes, I suppose Kajabi is working for me. I've got my website. I've got my list of events. Last week I had my event, What the Fuck is a Large Language Model Anyway? I had 75 people sign up for that. This week I've got my first event for members. It's a 60-minute session, how to become a ChatGPT super user. The week after that, I'm doing a session on what's changed in AI this month, and I've got people to sign up. So I have made it work for me, but so many of the features that I signed up for, I'm not using, or there are workarounds to enable me to use them, or the features just don't work as I thought they would because there's little glitches. So that's really frustrating. And Kajabi's just increased their prices to $3,000 a year for the plan that I was using. And it's just not worth it. I really wish I had started on Stan. Stan is much cheaper, and the two downsides, the two things that meant that I didn't go on Stan were you can't host your Stan store on a custom domain, and you can't email people from your email address without having to connect to a third-party tool like MailChimp. So that was what made me go for Kajabi, and I thought that the membership offering on Kajabi was completely different, but it's just not worth the money. It's just not worth it. I feel like I'm being ripped off. The $3,000 a year might make sense if the platform delivered on its promises, but it just doesn't. It's very complicated to use, and the support functionality is extremely frustrating. Even the people who answer your support queries don't seem to know how to use the tool. They seem to be hallucinating like an AI. So for example, yesterday, I asked for help with something. Somebody came back telling me how to do it. I went back saying, I've done that 10 times, it doesn't work. So somebody else came back telling me something completely different that completely contradicted what the first guy had said. And I'm like, why does your support team not know how to use this product? That's just further proof that Kajabi is extremely complicated. And I hate the marketing language Kajabi uses because it is all nonsense. And this is a pet peeve of mine, is marketing language and values that don't match up with the reality of what's going on. All this nonsense about empowering creators, building inclusive communities, and simplifying your business. None of that lines up with my experience. There is absolutely nothing simple. And as a creator, I do not feel remotely empowered. I feel trapped in Kajabi. I feel like I'd have to start again, go back to zero, but I would much rather use a tool that maybe didn't have quite as much functionality, but wasn't costing me $3,000 a year. It's so much money. And so it's not just about Kajabi being overpriced, and it's not just about Kajabi being built on values that maybe don't resonate with me. It's that Kajabi's values that they stated values on their website, are not the values I'm experiencing as a customer. And that's extremely frustrating. So I don't know how long I'll be able to maintain my Kajabi presence, but I do have my very first members. And it's been so much hard work to get them to give over their credit card details to be members of the AI Edit. And so giving them up would just feel so hard. But when you're watching this video, check out the AI Edit and you might see whether I've been successful migrating everything to a tool like Stan. If not, I guess I'll just go on being Kajabi's unhappiest customer until they can maybe sort out their product or charge what it's really worth, which is not a huge amount.